What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing a little bit of maintenance on the Land Cruiser. I get a lot of people asking me, what are the types of things that you want to check for before you take the Land Cruiser out for a long trip? Now, you've got the usual suspects, such as checking the oil level, the transmission fluid, topping off your coolant, but there is one item that everybody neglects or is completely forgotten. Let me show you how to properly grease the front and rear drive shaft on the Toyota Land Cruiser. Okay, so underneath the car, we are looking at the front drive shaft. There are 3 points where you want to add grease. One is right by the transfer case at that U-joint right here. 2 and 3 tucked right in there, that U-joint right there. So on the front of the drive shaft, this expansion joint right here, the factory service manual wants you to put grease from this little Zerk fitting until grease starts coming out from the edges right here. So that's exactly what we're going to do. There we go. You see some of the grease is seeping out. So that's pretty much greased. We're good to go. So for these U-joints, it's relatively straightforward. You basically put grease into the nozzle until the grease comes out from the side right here. You can see a little bit of grease that I put in there previously right before the gun went out. So I had to stop, but let's try it again with the new nozzle. So we have a new adapter for the grease gun. Let's see if this nozzle fits and works for the U-joint at least. There it goes, clipped in, and let's see if it'll work. Okay. You guys can see that, but you have to get the angle just right. And now the grease is coming out from the U-joint. And now the U-joint is greased. There we go. You see all the grease coming out from the U-joint itself, right there. That's what you want. That's the other U-joint closer to the transfer case. And as you can see, there is grease coming out of the U-joint. So we are okay for the front drive shaft. All we gotta do is the rear. So on the rear drive shaft, you want to do the same. The expansion joint is right here. And you want to fill it up with grease until the grease seeps out from the edge. So let's go ahead and do that. Started coming out from the back here, so I guess it's full. So all you need to do is clean it up and we're good to go. So this is the rear drive shaft, rear U-joint closest to the diff. Let's try to get this thing greased as well. Ooh, there it goes. There we go. It started coming out from the side already, as you can see, from the U-joint itself, not from the Zerk fitting, not because the nozzle isn't on there tight. It was on there tight, so what happens is it forces the grease into the Zerk fitting and comes out of the U-joint itself. So that is greased. Now this is going to be my last U-joint that I need to grease. This is the rear drive shaft front U-joint. So the transfer case is right here. And let's see if I can get it angled right. So it'll take some grease. Goes clicked in. Oh, there it goes. That's the sound you want to hear, that little crackling sound. So I'm doing a couple more pumps on this one because the old grease that's coming out looks pretty bad. Trying to force most of it out so that way there's new stuff in there. I think that should do it. And then as you can see, the grease is coming out of the sides of the U-joint, not the Zerk fitting. So we are okay. Now all that's left is we got to clean up all this excess grease on the side that came out, because if you don't clean it up, it's just going to fling on your exhaust like you can see right here it did, and it's going to smell like burnt grease while you drive. So I'll clean that up with the screwdriver and some paper towels as best as you can. You can leave a little bit in there, it's no big deal.
And that is it. Now, regardless how well you cleaned off the excess grease off the Zerk fittings and the U-joint, there will be some residue there that will probably fling out into the exhaust, so you might smell a little bit of burnt grease for a couple miles to come. Now that you've greased the front and rear drive shaft, you should have less squeaking noise, less of a clunking noise going from reverse to drive, and overall extend the life of your drive shafts. If you haven't already, don't be shy, go ahead and hit that like button, and for more Land Cruiser and Overland content, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.